And now the host of Watch Me Get Old, James Edward Parks Jr. Hey there, you guys. This is James Edward Parks Jr. here. And there's my pal Scooby-Doo coming in to check out what's going on. Well, we are going to be talking about like things that I could do, and now I'm not so much able to do like every last thing I used to be able to do. So, I'm James Parks Jr., of course, and this is my little show, Watch Me Get Old. This is about like my experiences getting old. So I'm 65 years old, and so I'm at the beginning part of getting old. So we're going to have a long road to hoe with this getting old stuff. All right? Okay? So, but like one time when I was 23 years old, my brother and I, we were walking to some place. We didn't have a car. So we were walking, going to a friend's house across town. And it was taking a long time walking. So we decided to start running, And, well, we were young, 23-year-old young stud. I could run. So, you get to a point when you're running. I mean, marathon runners, they get this point all the time. They get to a point of running where it's like you got a pace going, right? And it's like you just keep on going, like chugga. I mean, just boom, boom, boom. I mean, you just keep on going and you keep on going. And, that's the way I was doing. I had reached some kind of a threshold where I could just keep on going for miles and miles. I could hear my brother back there, stop! And I look, he's way back there. I had to stop and him catch up. But yeah, I can't do that kind of thing anymore. I can't run like that anymore. I can't even hardly run around the block, let alone run for miles and miles like I did 43 years ago. This frame, it's been about used up. I have discs down in my lower back that are like paper thin. So my endurance is gone too. And I have to take it more easy nowadays. But that's the point of this discussion here. This is like things that we could do and we can't do them any longer. Things like running for miles. That's not something that I'm doing. And I used to bench press 250 pounds. But that isn't happening with this paralyzed bicep in my arm. There's some things that I can't do just because I'm too wore out. There are other things that I could do, but I can't do it because of medications that I'm taking. Like, if I stand up too fast, I get real dizzy. I'm liable to pass out because of medications, and like, there's optional things, for instance, like drinking loads of alcohol, all right? It seems to me that there comes a time in life when we got to make a choice. Do we keep on doing all these enjoyable things that like shortens our life, or do we stop it and prolong our life. Like tobacco, for instance. That's a good example. A person, they might be able to smoke tobacco for I don't know, 5, 10 years, more, and stop doing it without it killing them, without them getting neck cancer or lung cancer. Or they can keep on pumping away and get past that threshold, past that point of no return. Each person, I think they have to choose. And the thing about it is nobody knows what point it is that they cross this invisible threshold of it being too much. It's like the same with alcohol too. It might be fun as hell to get drunk all the time and party our brains out, but at what point is it too much? Our livers can only stand so much abuse. It may be able to process a massive quantity of whiskey and beer right now, but how long is it until it just gives up? All right. I've seen people in the past with cirrhosis of the liver, and it wasn't pretty. I remember people. I remember in particular a fella down in Tampa, Florida, when I was a runaway teenager. This guy, he would sell beer on Sunday. It was illegal. He'd make extra money doing that. But this guy, he had this giant gut because he had cirrhosis of the liver. I know that fella ain't alive today. And that's just like with tobacco. We have to choose how long we want to abuse our bodies. I'm making some choices now. But we have to decide how many years chopped off of our life is this or that worth. That goes for everything else too. I gave up tobacco 10 years ago, but it wasn't soon enough to keep me from getting neck cancer. I have to cut back, or I have cut back on alcohol and meat. I have to. I don't even crave meat as much as I used to. I like having to drink. I'm having some brew right now, but like the whiskey and all that, I don't. I have to cut back. And like on long hikes, I used to go on real long hikes. I can't do that anymore. I go on shorter hikes. One of these days, I'll probably have to cut out all those hikes or get a scooter. So I'm sure that I have to cut back and eliminate other things as I grow older too. All of it all adds up. It adds up, I think. I wonder what I'll have to eliminate by the time I'm 90 years old if I make it that far. It will be interesting to find out. Eliminate some of the bad habits now might help me to get there so I can find out. But you know what? There are other things that I have to consider, which I feel like I'm more able to do it now. This video I'm making is something I'm more able to do now. I believe I'm more able to logically put forth an argument to make a point now. I believe that is because I have 6.5 decades of experience in life under my belt. A person lives the kind of life I've lived. When a person has 569,400 hours of living behind them, they tend to learn a thing or two unless they're living in a closet all their life. One of the most important things I've learned is that I still have a lot more to learn. And another thing that I've learned that I think is really, really important is what is the right question? You have to find the right question to ask. That's the start of everything. What is the right question to ask? And that's what I struggle with. Finding the right question and then trying to find an answer. So I have time now to learn the things I want to learn about instead of focusing my mind on my job all the time. When I worked, it was often 12 hours a day, 7 days a week for countless weeks. The majority of the time, if I got a vacation, it was because my job had been vacated and I was out of work. When I was out of work, all of my energy went into finding new employment and surviving until I found new employment.
Hey.
I really didn't give much else other than aviation, my job, much thought. My job and social life was about it. But now things are much, much different. I don't have to worry about the grind anymore. I'm not out to find a mate like I used to be. It's like the pressure's off. Without worrying about all that other crap, the crap I worried about for 40 years, I can devote that energy to other things. Without a doubt, I have learned plenty since I got disabled and unable to carry on my trade. I've been more able to pay attention to current events now that I've set my own schedule. Nobody tells me when to come to work or when to go home. I set my own hours, and many of those hours are occupied with learning something new. I believe that one of the reasons young people and old people really need to stick together is because old people like myself are better able to pay attention to current events and can warn young people about bad things that might happen or that is happening. While young people are working their brains out and supporting their families, old people can keep an eye out for danger and sound a warning. So, there you have my thoughts on things we can do and cannot do as we age. Always remember, I'm just a run-of-the-mill guy like anybody else. I'm sharing my thoughts and my experiences about getting old. I want to learn from it and share with you. I hope you share too. So until next time, be well, have fun, and live life for all it's worth. I love you all. Take care now.